Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here. Today, we're heading straight into one of the most chaotic, uncharted, and honestly, kind of intimidating territories out there, the human mind. We're going to be drawing on some amazing insights from the guide, 12 Steps to a Good Life, looking specifically how we manage our mental landscapes. Our minds are incredibly powerful, right? But so often they feel like this untamed wilderness. Well, what if there was a really simple, incredibly raw way to navigate that wilderness? Let's find out.
Right off the bat, I've got to ask, have you ever felt like you're just stuck on autopilot? Like you're physically exhausted, not from actually doing anything, but from this constant racing internal monologue you just can't seem to switch off? You know the feeling. You're lying in bed, trying to sleep, but your brain is running a marathon of worries, random memories, and completely hypothetical arguments. It is a deeply draining feeling, and if you're nodding along with me right now, I want to validate that for you. You are absolutely not alone in feeling like a captive to your own chatter.
It's crazy because when that inner voice gets going, we just automatically accept whatever it says as the absolute truth. Our minds are flying a million miles an hour, telling us we've messed up, agonizing over what other people think, predicting doom and gloom, and we just blindly believe it. Byron Katie hit the nail on the head when she said, "I discovered that when I believed my thoughts, I suffered, and that this is true for every human being." It's that unquestioned belief in the rapid-fire mental noise that causes so much suffering. It's just relentless.
Okay, let's dive into this because the pure weight of all that unmanaged thinking is staggering. I mean, imagine a mechanic or a plumber who lugs their heavy toolbox around with them absolutely everywhere they go. They take it out to dinner, they take it to bed, they take it on vacation, even when there is literally nothing to fix. They would be entirely exhausted. But, that is exactly what we do with our thoughts. Thinking is just a tool to help us navigate life, but we carry this incredibly heavy mental toolbox around endlessly, never giving ourselves a second to just put it down and rest.
And carrying that heavy toolbox around for too long? It actually builds what's called the box. Basically, this is a self-made mental prison, built out of rigid, unconscious beliefs and attitudes. We soak up these beliefs from childhood, our culture, maybe past traumas, and they completely distort what we actually need in life. The tragic irony here is that we try to solve our biggest problems while we're still stuck inside this box, using the exact same distorted thinking that created the problems in the first place. You simply cannot find peace using the same anxious thoughts that robbed you of it.
So how in the world do we dismantle this box? Well, a really good first step is just realizing we don't need to take our own minds so incredibly seriously. Actually, check out this blunt realization from the author. Out of the 100 billion thoughts he's had in his life, roughly 99% of them were absolute nonsense. 99%. Think about that for a second. Most of what pops into our heads is just mental static, random distractions, or completely unfounded fears. Realizing that the vast majority of your thoughts are just noise, that is incredibly liberating. You don't have to entertain every single guess that knocks on the door of your mind.
And hey, if you ever feel like you're literally arguing with yourself about what thoughts are real and what's just mental static, please know that is completely normal. Having a divided mind isn't some personal failure. It is a documented neurological fact of being human. It brings to mind that famous Walt Whitman quote, "I am large, I contain multitudes." Having internal conflicts and opposing voices up there is just a natural part of the human condition. You aren't broken because your mind feels conflicted. You're just human.
So, the crucial point is, how do we actually step outside this box and manage those conflicting voices? Well, it comes down to a powerful concept called metacognition. It sounds super technical, but it really just means the vital skill of thinking about your thinking. It's the act of creating a mental pause. You're observing your thoughts rather than just getting swept away by them. Without that awareness, we're basically asleep at the wheel, operating like machines, just reacting to whatever happens. Metacognition is the spark that wakes us up and lets us look at the map of our mind, rather than mistaking that map for the actual territory.
And here is perhaps the most profoundly encouraging realization you're going to have today. Are you ready? You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts, those fleeting feelings, your ego, they're just experiences blowing through you like the wind. You are the deep, quiet awareness that is experiencing them. When you can separate your true core identity from all that negative mental chatter, you realize you don't actually have to be controlled by it. You are simply the observer.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we can start putting this into practice. We know we need to observe our thoughts to get out of the box, and a fantastic way to do that is getting them out of your head and onto paper.
But there is a massive difference between regular journaling and stream of consciousness journaling. Regular journaling is usually pretty structured, right? We worry about grammar, we write down the mundane events of the day, we kind of try to make it sound good. But stream of consciousness journaling, as a method to capture a raw, honest snapshot of your inner world, the book suggests writing whatever comes to your mind without any structure, filtering, or judgment. It is a direct, unfiltered pipeline straight from your brain to the page.
Okay, let's just slow our pacing down for a second. Take a gentle breath. Let's look at exactly how you practice this. Step 1. Just let your thoughts flow naturally. Literally, whatever pops into your head, write it down. Step 2. Completely ignore structure, spelling, and grammar. If it doesn't make any sense at all, that is perfectly fine. And Step 3. Suspend all judgment. Do not edit yourself, don't criticize the thought as it lands on the paper. Just let it flow out of your mind, creating this calm, steady release valve for all that built-up mental pressure. To really help you ground this practice in your day-to-day life, here are a few super actionable tips. First, use whatever tool works best for you. A notebook, your phone, a laptop, it doesn't matter. Second, like we just said, throw the rulebook out the window. Forget spelling entirely. Third, and this is maybe the most important one, remember that you are the only audience. You aren't performing for anyone here. And because of that, our fourth tip is absolutely crucial. Protect your privacy. Keep your journal secure. Knowing that your words are totally safe from prying eyes is exactly what allows you to truly let your ego down and be fearlessly honest with yourself.
And since you have that totally safe, private space, you can actually take a much more artistic approach to this. Treating your journaling like poetry or song lyrics encourages deep self-discovery by allowing your thoughts to flow completely freely. When you bypass the normal, rigid rules of how a sentence is supposed to look, you allow the raw, honest truth of your inner world to just flow beautifully onto the page. It doesn't have to be logical, it just has to be true to what you are feeling in that exact second. This artistic angle works because it bypasses the logical filters that usually keep us trapped right inside that box.
When you really embrace this practice, the rewards are genuinely life-changing. It captures that raw, honest snapshot of your inner world, and it encourages this incredible, deep self-discovery by just letting your thoughts go wherever they need to go. It successfully bypasses your critical ego, that annoying voice that's always telling you aren't good enough. Ultimately, it frees you from that mental box. This whole process of self-discovery, it's really a hero's journey, and this journaling technique is like the sword that helps you cut right through the chaos to find real mental clarity and profound peace.
So I want to leave you with a thought to carry with you today. What might you discover if you stopped filtering your own mind? If you just grabbed a pen, let go of all the rules, and allowed your raw, unfiltered self to speak, what truths would emerge from the wilderness of your mind? That mental toolbox is so heavy, but you have the power to just put it down. Grab a notebook and start your own heroic journey into the self. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you feel empowered to go explore your own inner world today.